Hey guys, so I did a breakdown video for Zenkai LF Jiren. We at the point in time that I made that video, we did not have access to the details for the unique equipment for Orange Piccolo or the BUU Duo. So this video is going to be breaking down those equipment. Let's go over here, that's the wrong screen, and take a look at what we got. We should have some other stuff as well. Yeah, we have the new godly equipment stuff. I'll do a separate video breaking down the godly equipment. I haven't looked at any of this stuff yet, so that will be a separate video. Let's go over to the archive. Okay, so we should also have unawakened equipment as well, because I believe Rush reset this week. But of course, we got to start with the stuff that matters. Let's scroll down here. Okay, so here we go. I think we'll start with the BUU Duo equipments. Now, I did a video yesterday going over how I would design the equipment. So, the way I think these equipment are best designed is if they basically just improve what the characters already do well, right? You don't, like, you take the role of the character and you want to just make them able to do their job better. So, for example, when they released the Merge Zamasu unique equipment, let me see if I can find this one. Merge Zamasu has always been a very damage-oriented character. There hasn't really ever been a situation where I'm like, damn, I wish Merge Zamasu was more tanky, because it's not really his role. His role is to do damage, and then he dies, and he gives death buffs, and that's the whole point of the character. They ended up giving this character like just a bunch of healing in slot 3. Right, he heals by 20% of HP is 50% or below, and then he heals by 20% of HP is 30% or below. It's like, why did they give him that and not just more damage, right? This is a character that wants to do lots and lots of damage. I guess it's nice to have some healing on this, but that should not be the focus of the equipment. So for the BUU Duo, I am more so looking for ways of them to help the Vegeta side. The Vegeta side has historically not been great. And in my opinion, it's one of the aspects of the character, if not just the main aspect of the character, as to why they have not been used as widely as pretty much every other release this year. So let's go ahead and see if that's what they did here. I think the Goku side is already pretty decent. I don't think there's many issues with that side of the character. I think the Transcendent Kamehameha could definitely use a bit of a damage buff, but other than that, let's see what they do. Okay, so obviously this is for the BUU Duo only here. So slot 1, they give 35% to strike and blast attack. All right. Slot 2 gives 35% to strike and blast defense with some HP, 15% HP. Okay, I mean, it's pretty close to what I had for the first two slots. I mean, the first two slots are not the interesting slots. It's pretty much the same for all of these LF characters with these equipments. Slot 1 and 2 are just mostly just a bunch of stats and then HP and stuff like that. All right, let's see what they did here in slot 3. So we're going to scroll down to the one that actually matters here. Applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield via tag switch. So looks like this is not going to activate upon initial switch in. So the Goku side is not going to have this effect. This is going to apply to the Vegeta sides. Okay, so that's good. So it looks like they're more focusing on the Vegeta side here right away. 30% damage inflicted activates once. So that is a permanent 30% damage buff for them. Randomly draws one new card when you have 3 or fewer cards, activates twice. Times where 4 cards are held are also counted as activations. Okay, so that actually is pretty good. 30% damage, plus they're getting, of course, the base offensive stats in slot 1. They're going to be doing, like, the Goku side is going to be doing a lot of damage. I don't really think they needed just general damage. I think just damage for the Transcendent Kamehameha would have been enough, but this is fine. So the fact that they are now also drawing a card when they tag. So this is going to activate twice. So it means the first time you tag switch into Vegeta, he's going to draw a card. And then the first time you tag switch back into Goku, he'll actually draw 2 cards because Goku already guaranteed draws a card when you go into him. So that's actually pretty good. The problem with the Vegeta side, though, is Vegeta draws a card now with this, but it's like he doesn't have any card draw, so he doesn't have any cover and all, so you can't really reliably combo with him and fill up the gauge. Applies the following effects to self if own remaining health is 70% or below when hit by an enemy's arts attack while this character is in the battlefield. Minus 10 to special move arts cost, activates once. And then plus 15% to special move damage, activates once. I'm a little bit confused about this part. Minus 10 to special move arts cost, and then plus 15% to special move damage. I don't really understand why this is here. So the point of releasing equipment like this is to solve problems with the characters. What problem is this solving with the character? Are they saying that it's too hard to execute the blue card on this character, and that the blue card doesn't do enough damage? Is that what this is solving? First of all, it's conditional. It's not just a buff that they're getting. They have to be below 70% and be hit by a card to get this effect. And then it's not, so the combination of this 30% damage buff plus the base stats here, plus just a straight up 15% damage buff to special move damage, like Goku's blue card is going to be hitting really hard with this active. But I would have taken this equipment in a different direction personally. I would have replaced this bottom part. I actually do think this first part is fine. Drawing a card when you go into the Vegeta side and then the Goku side, this is actually going to make getting the Transcendent Kamehameha mode very, I don't want to say very easy, but it's definitely certainly going to be a lot easier than it was before this equipment came out. So I think this top portion is actually quite good. The slot 3 top portion here. This is what I'm confused about. I don't really understand what is the goal of this down here. If this was up to me, I would have definitely focused more so on the Vegeta side defensively. I would have allowed him to either heal up when he gets hit. I would have had him, able to fill up his tag switch gauge a little bit faster when he gets hit. Maybe reduce the enemy key. Make his green card stronger. Like something with the Vegeta side to give him more utility or defense, bulk, disrupt, something. Because that is the portion of the character that doesn't flow as well as it should. And I don't really see how this is going to help solve the problem with the character right now. But I do think that essentially everything else with this is going to be nice. Remember, the BUU duo have some pretty good stats for an LF character. So them getting all these base stats is going to help them. I think, again, the top portion here, this part of slot 3, I think is going to be nice for them. I'm very confused as to why they went with this part, the second half of slot 3. It doesn't really seem like it's going to further the cause of the character in any way. But okay, I would have went personally in a different direction for the equipment, but I think they will definitely perform a lot better with this. 15% HP is no joke for a character like this too. So, all right, let's take a look at Orange Piccolo. So again, Orange Piccolo, a character that isn't really known for his damage, isn't really known for his bulk, but he is a very disrupt-oriented character. He has a revive, he has a heal, he has support, so he's a utility character. I would like to see a focus on the utility side, and not so much on just like pure offense or whatever, right? So let's just see what he's doing. So of course, this is going to be for Orange Piccolo. So slot 1, we've got 35% to both base offenses. Slot 2, we have base strike defense and base blast defense. So interesting that they didn't give it 35, they gave it 30. They consciously decided that they were going to make it a bit lower there for some reason. Okay. 15% to own strike and blast defense after transforming. So they're specifically designating that buff to be a post-transformation buff. So he's actually, so the Power Awakening Piccolo portion of this unit is not going to be getting that buff. 15% to pure strike and blast defense, that's not minuscule. Especially for a character like a post-transformed Orange Piccolo who already has pretty damn high base stats. Okay, I mean, that's not really anything too different than what I was expecting. I'm curious as to why there is no HP on here, but maybe we'll see. Slot 3, that's pretty short. Applies the following effects to self after transforming. 20% to damage inflicted, 10% to health, and then -5 to strike and blast arts costs. So they actually did more so go towards the defensive side for this character. I mean, they gave him 20% damage inflicted. I don't, even with 20% damage inflicted, I don't really think I would expect this character to be dishing out some like ridiculous damage now. Like, I don't think it's going to be a thing where all of a sudden we put this equipment on Orange Piccolo and he's just like, now that he has this equipment, he's one comboing people. Like, I don't think that's going to be the case, right? If this, again, you guys can go back to the video I released yesterday. If it was up to me, I would have replaced this 20% damage with destroys one enemy card when entering the battlefield. Something like that. Something to enhance the character's abilities when it comes to utility. But I will say that post-transformation, this character is going to feel a lot more tanky. He's getting 10% health from this. He's getting 15% to pure defenses. He's getting 30% to base defenses. And the reason why that's important for a character like Piccolo, a lot of people have complained that his unique gauge isn't really... Either it's just straight up hard to activate with him because he dies before he even gets it off, or, you know, it's just, it should be able to be activated multiple times. Well, the good thing about them giving bulk to Piccolo here is that it's going to be a lot easier to see the unique gauge now because he's not going to die so fast when he's transformed. So that is good. I think if I had to compare this equipment to the BUU Duo equipment, I would say that this Piccolo equipment probably falls more so in line with what the character wants to do. But again, if it came down to me designing these equipments, I would probably design both a bit differently. I think in terms of how effective these are going to be for the characters, I think they definitely could have done a little bit more. But I mean, these are both pretty recent. I mean, BUU Duo came out, what, 7 months ago, and Piccolo came out 6 months ago? No, 5 months ago. Yeah, Piccolo came out 5 months ago. Not even half a year ago, so I wasn't really expecting them to do some crazy, ridiculous... Like, I wasn't expecting Piccolo to get, like, 50% damage inflicted or something like that. But I think, you know, they should produce some nice results here. And I think people will probably underrate the BUU Duo equipment more than the Piccolo equipment, but we'll see. We'll see how things play out when we actually get to use the characters and the equipment. So, all right, we have an Awakened equipment here. This is going to be for just Universe Rep. So all Universe Rep characters can use this. Pretty wide array of characters. Base Blast looks like it's going to be more of a blast-oriented equipment. 15% base blast, 15% to Ki recovery. Then slot 2, we have 10% to base blast, 10% to special move damage, and then slot 3, we have 10% to blast attack, and then 10% to HP. Yeah, this is a good equip. So this is giving 35% blast, so clearly this is a blast-heavy equipment. You know, this is going to be really good for is 17. 17's going to like this. 17 has access to such good equipment, it's ridiculous. It's about time we get him a Zenkai buffer, by the way. He still has no Zenkai buffer that's relevant. Like, yes, free-to-play 21 can Zenkai buff him, but who cares? It's like a half of the Zenkai buff, and then his ability's bad, so... it's time we gave that blue 17 a Zenkai buff. It's been almost a full year now. But this is a very good equipment. The only nitpick I have is they could have replaced the Ki recovery in slot 1 with, like, strike defense or something like that. Or even just blast defense, some kind of defense. And that would have made this a little bit better, but I think already as it is, it's giving a lot. Ki recovery, special move damage, HP, and then tons of blast attack. Yeah, that's good. This is a good equip. I think that should be it in terms of equipment here. So that's going to do it for this breakdown. Again, I just wanted to make a separate video going over the equipment because we did not have access to the details for these earlier today when I made the Jiren breakdown. I am going to jump into the showcases next, and then I think when we do all the showcases, I will then make a video sort of overviewing the update itself. We got some different news announcements to go over, so let me know down below what you guys think of the unique equipments for Piccolo and the BUU Duo. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.